Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. We're going to be getting things back to normal. This virus thing is about to be over. I'm predicting it. Let's start spreading it and thinking it. Um, let's start moving forward and making sure that we stay on top of our credit and debt. And because that's very important, so you don't fall behind. Um, Debt collectors are still coming after you. I got my emails from the companies that are selling debt, and it's saying business as usual. They're even giving even better deals. So let's go through those first, and then we'll talk about what we can do about them. And then I'm going to answer some questions from YouTube. So here's one here, 28.9 million dollars. This is a mixture of major credit cards and department store cards, 7,400 accounts. Charge off date 2008. We already know what the problem is with that, with statute of limitations. Average account balance is 3,800 bucks. National, so that's in all 50 states. This one here, 4.6 million. This one is uh, banks and all national banks, all 50 states, 2,700 accounts. Charge off date 2002 to 2009. I can't believe that. Past statute of limitations. Average balance 1,600. This one here is 1.4 million. This one is National Bank's credit cards. Charge off date 2012. Average balance 3,500. This one here, 2.5 million average. Charge off date was 2012. 770 accounts, 3,200 is the average account balance. So first thing that you do, step number one, is you need to check the statute of limitations on it. Every state is different. All 50 states have their own laws on statute of limitations for debt, which is crazy. But there's only one state has a 15-year for a written contract. The lowest is a 3-year. Um, and the other ones are usually 4, 5, or 6 years. And there's a couple that are 2 or 3 that are 10 years for written contracts. So first thing that you need to do, step one, get your credit reports. If you don't have your credit reports, there's a link here, or you can put it in the yellow box here. Go to my website at the number 3scores.com. When you download those reports, you're going to want to look in the comment section or look at the account itself, and it's going to tell you the history of the account. What you're looking for is the charge off date, last date of activity. Last date of activity is going to be what's considered legally for the statute of limitations clock to start ticking. If you see that it's past the statute of limitations for your state, all you have to do is simply send the debt collector a letter. You don't even have to respond really about doing any validation for the debt or anything. You just send them a letter. Now, if you go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, in my blog, just scroll all the way down to the bottom, click blog, and then type in the search bar on my blog statute of limitations, and it'll bring up state by state statute of limitations. Once you know the statute of limitations, if it's past the statute of limitations for legal to be legally collected or to as a debt, then all you do is just simply write them a letter stating, Mr. Debt Collection Company, I'm notifying you that the debt that you're trying to collect is past statute of limitations according to the laws in my state. I demand, you can say demand, or you request that they cease all collection activities, or you'll be reporting them to the proper authorities. Proper authorities in your state, everybody's state, is going to be the Department of Financial Institution, which is the department that licenses all of the banking and debt collection companies in your state. That's who does it. It's the same department. They handle all of that. So you would notify them, and then also the state attorney general's office, because if they're doing something illegal, the state attorney general office should know about it, because you could be helping other people too. So that's all you have to do. You don't need to go back and forth. You don't need to call them. You don't need to do anything. But I want to also say that, because I've had this happen before, where if you do get a call from a debt collector and they say something similar to this on the phone, they ask for who you are, you say yes, then they say, we're calling you about such and such debt, and you do not have they may not say you have a legal, they may just skip over that and say, we're notifying you of your moral obligation to pay this debt. Keyword, moral obligation to pay this debt. And if you move forward, then they'll use a different term, but what they're trying to do is to get you to reauthorize that account, because they know that it's past statute of limitations. So they'll use the word moral when they're talking to you, and then they'll say, if you move forward, you're moving forward on your own accord because you have a moral obligation to pay this debt. So be very careful if they call you. If someone calls and they say you have a moral obligation to pay a debt, say that this debt is past statute of limitations, I want you to cease all collection activities. I guarantee you that they will say, I'll note it on the account and that we will not call you again. Believe it or not, there were people calling for debts that were past statute of limitations, and they were just changing the words around and using the word morally obligated instead of legally obligated to pay the debt. So be careful about that. Most of the time, though, they're going to buy these debts. They're going to mail to you a letter. When you get that letter, you look at your credit reports, and then you see that it's past statute of limitations from the last activity date, the charge-off date. Then you'll know if it's past statute of limitations. If it is for your state, you just simply write them that letter. Now, if it's not past statute of limitations and it's illegal for them to collect, now you want to figure out what is the relationship between you and that debt collector. Did they get hired by the original creditor? Did they get assigned by another debt collector? Or did they purchase the debt themselves? You want them to let you know about that. Plus, at the same time, you want to have them do what's called a debt validation. I'm not going to go into full detail about that, but you can go to my channel, The Credit Repair Shop, and search how to do a debt validation. I've made videos on those. But in short, what a debt validation is where you're going to make them prove every aspect about the debt that they claim you owe. The balances, your signatures, the interest rate disclosures, the payoff disclosures, your signatures on the contract, also your signatures or some type of data stamp of all of the charges, and then all of your payment history that was made. Because what you want to do is you want to validate, you want to make sure that you owe exactly what they're claiming you owe, so you can peel off any of those finance charges or anything that they're trying to throw on top of there, which they will do. The debt collectors will also do that. If it comes back that the debt is valid, you have to pay them 100%, all the I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Then you should go into a settlement phase with them so it doesn't go on your credit reports. Keep the communications open. Don't run from them. If you make the request the right way, they're going to reply to it and get you the information. Now let's take it a step further. Let's say that they don't reply to it and they go and take you to court, because that would be their next step. Then you need to do the validation. When you get the court summons, you would just do the validation at that point. And I've made videos on my YouTube channel here so you can see how to respond to a court summons or a court citation. Very simple, easy. They try to confuse you, but it's very easy to do. You're just doing a debt validation, but the only difference is now you're going to be sending it to the court and also to them, and you're going to be responding the appropriate way that it asks you to respond on the court summons or the citation. So before I get into the questions, let me please like this video. Every day people are becoming aware of this channel, and people don't, you may know what I'm talking about here because you're one of the subscribers to the channel, but there's plenty of people that just do not understand how to do this. And some of the times, even for the people that are subscribers, you subscribers, hearing me say it over and over and over, sometimes that light bulb goes up over your head, and you say, okay, that's exactly what he meant by that, and now I'll take action. Or you need to have me, tell you over and over and over again before you'll get that confidence on the inside to take action. Okay, let's look at some of the questions here. I got one here. It says, from the way I'm understanding, it says that they had a wage garnishment. After the wage garnishment stopped and the debt was paid, how do I get it removed off of my credit reports? And then they stated again, and they are still garnishing those wages. And I'm not sure if they kind of were saying that they were still garnishing the wages before. They can't continue garnishing wages if you've paid it all the way up, if the debt is paid, unless they threw on a whole bunch of fees. And that's why when we do a debt validation, we know what is fees and we know what is actually owed. Because the judge at that time, the judge would have to make a determination if they're going to allow them to put those fees on there. Because some of the times there's a limit on what they're able to charge in interest and fees when they're putting that on a judgment. Because for it to get to a garnishment, it had to go through the judgment phase. And at that point is when you would be able to do that. So right now, what they're probably doing is you're paying on the extra fees that they attach to it in the court costs and stuff like that. You're probably paying that. What you should do now, because you paid that garnishment, is that you should push that creditor to change that account over to a positive account. If they won't do that, then you should submit to them that they are reporting the information on your credit report inaccurately because you've been paying a garnishment to whatever attorney law firm that they hired to get the garnishment from you, get the garnishment payments from you. So you can push them into a corner to where they're going to take this off of your credit reports, but you have to go at it from first. The first way is to hit the creditor up and say, you've been garnishing my wages, you've been paid, you need to report all of this history on here, change it to be reported positive. If they don't do that, then you need to flip that around and then dispute to them that they're reporting inaccurate, and you can use all of the information from the payments that you've made on the garnishment. So you're backing them into a corner to make that change on your reports. We have another one here. It says what to do when they don't want to do that. Remove a charge off from credit reports. Okay. I'm in the process of trying to get the collection company to remove a charge off from my reports. They said that they will send the request to the credit bureaus. They said that they can't send me the letter to agree to have it done. I do owe it, and it's not large, but I need to get it removed ASAP. What are my options? If it's a small account and it's something that you can pay, and they're saying that they'll remove it if you pay it, go ahead and do that. They will send you a letter saying that it's paid, and then you can also put on your payment, pay them by money order or cashier's check, and you put on there, this is a contract contingent on you removing this information from my credit report. Put that in the memo section. Take a copy of that check. And then if you end up having to do the dispute, to have it removed, stating that they would have had it removed. You would have a copy of that check with the memo, and once they cash it, they've initiated a contract with you to have that removed. It's simple and easy way to have that done. We've done that in our office several times. When they get the check, they'll usually contact the bureau during their cycle. You got to remember, if they get yours and they agree to it, they're not going to send it in that day. They're going to do it with a batch. There's what they upload it to the bureaus, and when they upload it, they're going to send that whole entire batch with yours and hundreds or thousands of other people at the same time, and then it'll be updated and it should be removed. Or if you do it, you had information, you do what I just told you to do with the memo section of a cashier's check, never a personal check, of a cashier's check or a money order. And once they cash it, you can do it. And then they're going to send that to that collection agency, and then they're not going to respond, or they're going to say to remove it. Okay, it's been, let's see. Had some questions about payment deferments. There's a lot of confusion going out there. Even on the news channels, I've been seeing a lot of confusion where people were thinking that they're going to have to pay more, like if they defer their house payment, that they're going to have to pay more when it came back around, like they're going to have to play catch up. You don't play catch up when you defer your payments. A deferment means that you're not going to have to pay until a specific date, and then you're going to start off there, and what they'll do is they'll put it on the back. They're going to add 3 months or 6 months to the back of your loan. That's what they're going to do. That's how they're going to make their money back. That's how they're going to get those additional payments. You could do that for credit cards. You could do that for auto loans. You can do it for department store cards, payday loans, all of them. What you have to do, you have to make it clear to them that you do have a hardship. Hardship does not necessarily mean that you lost your job. It could mean that you have less hours. It could mean that you are taking care of a loved one or family members that lost their job. Like your income is needed for to take care of more than it used to have to be taken care of because of the loss of your wife's job or something. That's a hardship. That qualifies as a hardship. So basically, what you have to do is you have to, when you get on the phone with the company, you have to ask them what qualifies as a hardship. Don't let them lead everything. You take the lead and you say to them, tell me all the different things that would qualify as a hardship. If they won't do it, then you let them know what your hardship is. The easy ones are if you lost your job and you can't work due to this, or you lost hours due to this, or you have a family member that is sick and you are not able to do whatever you were able to do to earn income, or they lost their income. Those are the easy ones. But there's other ways that you can qualify with them also. Some of them are just straight up giving deferments if they just to make it easy, because they're as a corporation, they just want to make it easier for their clients. So you never know what they're going to offer to you. You never know what qualifications are going to be. I always say think for the best, because they've been doing deferments even before this, and now with this going on, and they know that people are not able to work, it should be a lot easier to get deferments. Let's see here. All right, we're going to be ending the video here. Everybody stay safe. This is Stephen Williams, founder and president of the creditrepairshop.com. Please like this video. Please subscribe. Please post your comments. And let's start pushing real hard to get our credit where we want it to be. And I did post on the website, my website, if you go to the creditrepairshop.com and you on my homepage and you click through on the learn more button there, you can see I posted my updated scores. I'm close to the 800. I made it right to the 800s, and then it went back some, and that goes back and forth because when I use one of my credit cards, it might report a balance one day, and then I pay them off later, and then it'll jump the credit up after that when they do the rescores each month. So make sure that you visit my website, thecreditrepairshop.com. If you need your credit reports, please use the link below. I really appreciate it. The number 3 scores. Post your questions, comments, and shares. Thanks a lot again, and please stay safe. This is Stephen Williams, founder and president of thecreditrepairshop.com. Thank you.